It's that time again. Grab a friend, sit down, unwind a bit. Tack a J, keeping it real. Can't you see the appeal? They got the jokes, the smoke, and the current events. You know the deal. Soak up that lemon water. Tell all your friends. Encouragement for your flourishment is where we begin. Have you heard of it? It's sustenance. Where have you been? Free your mind. It's the baddest podcast in the land. If you don't understand, let's run it again. It's that time again. Grab a friend, sit down, unwind a bit. Tack a J, keeping it real. Can't you see the appeal? They got the jokes, the smoke, and the current events. You know the deal. Soak up that lemon water. Tell all your friends.
Welcome back to another episode of the Living Water Chronicles podcast, man. I'm your host, T. Jay is on the way, but tonight we have a special guest. We have Mr. Vincent Drums Too Loud Williams.
Hey. Glad to be here.
Hey, man, what kind of day you had today? What's going on?
It was an amazing day. I was told that we were going to have bad weather, and for like maybe a minute, it was like a hailstorm, and then it just stopped.
Hey.
And you know what? In the movie Twister, when things get quiet, that's when stuff is about to go crazy. So there's a second that I was like,
Is that
and Astral don't play with tornadoes no more.
Nah, man. After last year, y'all situation was pretty hectic, man. That was pretty serious. Like
crazy, really crazy.
Oh God. Little bit about what we like to do when we open the show. We always ask this question.
Right.
As you know, the show is called the Living Water Chronicles podcast. And when life has given you lemons, when have you found yourself making lemon water?
Ooh.
So it's, metaphorical, but take a stab.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in every bad, I hate to use the term bad, but every bad situation, you know what I mean? There's always a positive. And I'm not trying to get churchy, but I always tell people there's a blessing in the negative. There's a blessing somewhere around there. So I can't really think of an exact moment right now, but
nah, that's all good.
I like that. Before the show's over, I want to have something for you.
Oh yeah, that's true. No pressure, man. No pressure. And then we're going live right now from the LWCP Instagram page. So if anybody drops in for the first 10 minutes or so, they may have a couple questions for you. If not, we're gonna get into the conversation. But that's good, man. So I mean, you kind of did answer it though. Basically, there's always a blessing in the situation.
Absolutely.
Or like a silver lining. Some people say.
Absolutely.
There's a film about that called a Silver Lining of something. It's got Bradley Cooper and somebody else.
Okay.
But that film is pretty good. It kind of highlights and shows you stuff that you should just look at what you have and focus on that side instead of it.
Absolutely.
Opposite.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. What's up, Cam? What's up, man? So obviously we are going through this pandemic situation right now. Walk us through how you've been dealing with it for yourself, and what are ways that you have been staying productive in this time?
Well, one, I will say God.
Yeah.
Just walking by faith, not by sight.
Facts.
When COVID first happened, I guess me and my wife were oh, it won't take long, probably just be a month, bad week shutting down. I'm over here buying alcohol and stuff. It's a party. Me and my homies playing Call of Duty every night.
Oh yeah, own it.
You know what I mean? Getting big dubs on Warzone. and then the second month happened, and then the third month, and I'm still playing at church.
Right.
And then next thing you know, they're well, we're gonna stop, doing church services. And I'm what? Okay. And then
what you mean?
You're right. A couple more months went by. And so I kind of really started to get down, I don't want to say depressed, but just real sad. I'm not touching my instrument. I'm not playing shows. I'm not traveling. I'm stuck in the house, and I know my wife is looking at me you're fine. Like it's gonna open back up.
Yeah.
Production is what kept me in the game. Like I had a song that I wrote called Party. Shout out to Mr. Talkbox.
Okay.
And I just was like, I'm just gonna push this song out and just go for this. So I would say like giving my attention to something musical or something that was creative kept me in the game. I kept my head straight.
So something creative kept you in.
Yeah.
Creativity would be key, I guess.
Absolutely. Oh man. Whew. Needed it.
Facts. And so you said you play an instrument. So talk to us like who is Vincent Drums Too Loud Williams and Please Take It Bio? Like drop it to us, man. Who are you?
So I'm definitely a drummer. Like drumming, call me for, I like to say I can play almost any genre. If it's something that I have to sight read on spot, give me time. But I like to think I'm a professional drummer. I've had the, honor and blessing of touring with this band for quite some time called the Delta Saints.
Okay.
Took me across seas. Never thought I'd go across seas.
Wow.
So I got to see the world and, just meet different people, have different conversations. But before I was always playing drums. I always it was funny as a kid, I would stand in my bathroom, my mom's bathroom, and just like look at myself in the mirror and act like I'm making a beat or listen to a song and act like I was in the studio with the artist making a beat. And so going back to production, like, I was like, man, I think I should really start producing and making music. Like, I think I'm more than a drummer. Like, I love drums, but there's something bigger than drums. So I like to look at myself as a drummer producer. Like, I can program drums. I like writing lyrics with people. I'm not the best articulating myself theory-wise, but I can tell you when something sounds bad. I can sing you a note. I know my scales, but I'm not like, oh, that's an F minor 9. It's like, I don't do all that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, no,
that's what I was going to ask you next is like, how technical are you with it?
Nah, I'm not. Nah.
Yeah,
you can like, I feel like professionals nowadays, you can sing something and they can catch it. You know what I mean?
That's real. And like with me, I'm self-taught. So I've been playing drums for over 20 years.
Word.
Yeah, I played in a band in high school, did 4 years of that. I would have went on to do more in college, but I just mental, how you get ahead of yourself and you tell yourself you can't do something or get overwhelmed and you're like, oh, they're gonna make me read music. And that was my biggest fear because it was shame on me because I had never learned how to read music in high school. But I had played in a middle school band before that. And then even before that, I was in the elementary school kind of sort of band thingy. But with me, I'm the type of person that I need really good teachers for certain things or a good mentor that helps me catapult myself forward in a way to keep it G for real.
Oh man, dude, mentors are so key. Like there's a cat down here in Nashville named Aaron Lewis.
Okay.
Big shout out to him. He's produced the James Fortune record, like a lot of James Fortune stuff. He's crazy.
Wow.
But just cats like that, I look at music in basketball or any sports, they're so close related. It's a team effort, musician or a band that go on stage, they play together. Everybody has a role they have to play.
Yeah.
And you have to hold your teammates accountable. And I just look at sports, I'm like, man, those are musicians out there. Or I look at musicians like, y'all are athletes.
Professionals, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So with have you ever played any sports yourself or have you just...
Oh man, football all day.
Oh, football, okay.
Football, yeah, man. Running back, fullback. Sometimes I have me at right guard.
So you're in shape.
Yeah, I was in shape. This was
okay. no, don't look back.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, okay, cool. So how long ago was it?
Oh man, this was high school.
Okay.
Yeah, high school. Yeah. I'm 31 now, so.
Really?
But you know what I mean? Like that competitive, you know, thing in me is still there.
Yeah, I was a basketball head. I played football and basketball. I played all sports at one point. But,
trash in basketball.
Oh man. I mean but you play football for real. That's how you know how good of a football player you got when like they try to cross over and it just don't work out. It's like
right.
You are really...
I'm broke. I'm broke. Don't pass me the ball. I'm broke.
It's like I'm rebounding, bro. I'm rebounding.
That's it. I'm a body. And my defense, though, I feel like my defense might be locked up sometimes, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's facts. That's real. Well, it just has nothing to do with what I was going to ask, but what do you think about like the current state of affairs with like, you know, sports in the virus and how they're handling it? Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, let them play, I guess. Like when I see the athletes out there no mask, I'm just like, open the world back up.
Yeah,
you know, like the NBA finals even seem real to me. Like the sixth man even in the stands. Yeah. Shout out to LBJ though. Shout out to LBJ.
This true. So are you a LeBron fan?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Like if you think about it, how old are you?
31.
Okay. Think about it. We caught the end of MJ.
That's right.
Matter of fact, some of his prime because he won some rings.
Yep.
And then we have Kobe, the Shaqs, like the Tim Duncans. Like we have seen everybody. Allen Iverson, man, we've seen them all. Like, yeah. And I feel like LBJ is that end of all that.
That's right. Oh yeah. Yeah, and we literally grew up with him too, because when he came in, I was a freshman in high school. So
right.
Like think about that, you know, like I'm removed from college now, and you know, I done had a few things like crazy stuff happen, a whole bunch of people died and all types of shit.
Yeah.
So like you think about that, where we are now, and this man been playing for like 18, 17 years.
Dude. Like,
and he's still producing on a major level, like as if he's just 6 years in, but he's been there for like almost 2 decades.
Like, what do you want from him? Like, what else do you want from him?
And I feel you on the NBA Finals not feeling real, because it was weird with it being in Florida. Like everything was in one place, right? And they were trying to. I think that they did a great job containing it. I feel like they could have probably tried to do the same thing for the NFL. But the NFL is a little bit more tricky because, you know, grass is different from wood. So you know, you can't just you can redo grass over and over again, but that would be like super expensive. So you probably have to.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, either that or you could play on like all turf, but even
the
turf is like that new. It's like electronic turf now or something, like where it comes up and goes down. You see it on the HDTVs. When they
okay.
You know what I'm saying, like when they drag their foot or something and it's like black dirt will arise.
Okay, yeah,
really weird looking. It's crazy, bro. But I don't know if it's like electronic. I just be calling shit what it is. Don't be.
I gotta ask though. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
Who you for?
This year. Huh?
Who'd you go for?
I really didn't have a dog, man, but
I feel you.
I was cool with the fact that TB was gonna go ahead and get his 6th. I knew he was gonna get it. It was a political thing. Like, well, for me, it was like conspiracy / political /
right.
This shit. I was like, they ain't about to let him lose. I was like, he done got all the way there on a technicality year. He's gonna win. And I was like, so that way he can be one step higher than MJ. And then in my mind, I was thinking, this is a white dude. No offense to all my white brothers and sisters out there. But I was like, of course they want to have a white male athlete better than a black male athlete that's been considered the GOAT. Cross country. What's it called? Cross sports of the world or whatever.
Right.
And then, you know, you got wrestling and stuff like that. You can factor in like the world heavyweight champion 16, 17, 18 time, but that's all scripted. We know it's scripted.
Right.
We don't know, however, that the NFL and the NBA could also be scripted to an extent.
Dude.
Because you look at how people can throw games and then you look back like, okay, let's downshift real quick. This ain't got
All right.
nothing to do with none of the script that I had.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No. This is perfect. The 72 Dolphins, right? I think it was the 72 Dolphins. They went like 16-0.
16-0. Mm-hmm.
All right. They went 16-0. I think the closest team that came close to that was like the 2006 Colts or something like that. Like Manning was still there, and they were like, how many games did they have in a regular season now? Is it 18? 7? Something like that.
Oh, 17? Yeah.
Give or take. And
Yeah.
so these guys was like 13-0. And I was like, oh shit. And so in my mind, when I looked up, it's one of those things when the season first starts. Okay, season started, cool, things rolling, whatever. It's 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. You don't watch seasons 7 and 8 because you had to work those days.
Right.
And like the next thing you know, we in the double digits now. So it's like shit. And then you look at you start Googling stuff. I'm like, who has there ever been a team to never lose? 72 Dolphins pop up. I was like, oh. And so then when you look at all the other teams that get close, they always end up losing some play. This particular game, I don't remember who they were playing because I don't want to lie on here and you'll be like, you don't know your shit.
Right.
Whatever, bro. They was beating the team's ass, right? Then it got down to it out of nowhere. I think they had like a one or 2 touchdown lead. They pull out all their starters and put their like second string in. It didn't make any sense. So I was I was like, come on, man. And then you got some people in the league that will just not break certain records because they respect the person that broke it in the beginning, like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm sleep on that.
Jaguars had like their running back was Short Cat. I can't remember his name, but he was about to break some particular record, and it was on the sports highlight. And so when he ran, like if he would have crossed the 10-yard line, then that would have been the record to be broken in yards for that particular some kind of person or that year or whatever. And Cameron said facts. Oh yeah, for sure. And he would have broken that record. This dude fell down at like the 15. Like he fell and made sure that he didn't break the record because he didn't want to break it. And I'm like, why would you get in the league if you don't want to be great? Like,
you know what I mean? I'm trying to break.
Right. Like I'm busting heads. Like
I'm gonna look like Forrest Gump. I'm still running.
Bruh. Like my football coach used to say, I want to hear a lick. He used to say that every day. And that just means like I need all y'all to have concussions by the end of us.
Man.
I probably had at least 2 or 3 concussions and it was no fun. But
oh man.
Because back when we was playing, it wasn't no concussion protocol. We were just out there doing it, whatever it was.
Yeah. If you laid on the ground long enough, somebody
oh, bro. It's crazy.
We were judged on our jerseys, how dirty our jerseys were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how we were.
So like what state did you play football in? Like what was it high school football and
yeah, high school, junior high, Lawrence High in Lawrence, Kansas, home of the Jayhawks.
Wow.
Shout out to the Chiefs.
Okay. Okay, so then we know who you were pulling for.
Right.
Yeah, I hated it for my man. Like I had a feeling. Oh, and I didn't know that there was so much that was going on behind the scenes with them. Did you hear about
Coach Reed's son?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It was wild. I don't think that's what it was, but
that's a bad situation. But we just looked like we didn't know how to play football. And it's like we're the returning champs. And we out here just I can't catch the ball.
But you looked like you knew how to play football up until that game. See what I'm saying?
Up until that game.
See what I'm saying? That's the type of shit I be talking about. I was like, this is why I don't watch shit no more. I was just like, we watch it's kind of like we treat the Super Bowl and like, okay, we treat the Super Bowl and like HBCU football games the same. We come to the Super Bowl to watch the commercials. We come to the HBCU football games to watch the band. I mean, I went to a HBCU. I'm a product of one. I got the degree, so y'all can kiss my ass. Like I don't care. Like it is what it is. But like, but sometimes I actually do come for the competition because if the program looks good and it's promising, that's what's up. I just hate how players overlook them because they're worried. They think that they can only go the big way by the big school, which is not the case.
Absolutely not. Especially not in the NBA. Oh man.
Oh no. It's tons of people. It's all based on your effort. It's all based on how much you want it as an individual. Like wherever you are, wherever you're going, how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're counting on, I mean, of course you want to put yourself in the best position, but if you're like counting on a school or a certain platform to give you an amount of leverage to do something, then you're gonna have a problem later in life because you ain't gonna be able to have no leverage when you finally make it at a particular organization and stuff like that. Like, did you see what happened with old dude? And he's an ex-O lineman from Tennessee, from the Titans. He got pulled over with like some weed in the car. Pulled over with him and some chick, and the girl had some acid in her purse. She had like a little bit of weed ground up in the in a grinder. And so the dude got traded from the Tennessee Titans to the Miami Dolphins, and then they dropped him maybe like, I don't know, like a month after that. I forgot his name. But yeah, all this happened about 2 days ago. Like I just caught the article and I was tripping, and I was just like, this type of stuff keeps happening to these young dudes because they don't have like that guidance, and they don't have mentors. Gotta have mentors. Like the dude just basically, and then as I'm reading it, it's like most people will read the article and just read it as is and be like, oh, another person did this. And I'm like, nah, you got to read between the lines on a lot of this stuff, because like how you're a human and I'm a human and all these guys out here playing ball are humans, they still have very humanistic things that are happening to them throughout.
Man, especially if I make like a certain amount of money that I'm not used to making, I got to be around somebody who's used to making this amount of money, especially in my field. Like,
oh, bro,
I got to know like how do I need to maneuver? How do I need to move? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
That stuff is key. And it's like, as I was reading the article, like I'm actually trying to find it, but I don't know where it is. But basically it was just screaming depression, because the dude, and it was screaming depression, abandonment, and you know what I'm saying, like to the players, what they don't realize is they are their own entity that exists within another entity. So like,
I'm a business.
Exactly. I'm a business. And so it's like, I want to work with your business. I think that we could do great business together. And I feel, you know, and then that just happens to be a game. You know what I'm saying? Like I can provide this skill set. You have your skill set too, that you want me to play into your system. And then I learn your system. You learn my style of play. We work well together. Either we work well together or we don't. But absolutely, a lot of that is dependent on both sides. It's all dependent around psychology. Like I be trying to tell people, I'm like, it's one of my low key. It's no longer a secret now because it's on the net. But it's like it was one of the big things that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a franchise owner, but not for football, because football, I like watching it. You know what I'm saying? I like kicking it, watching on the 82-inch screen. I got my popcorn. I'm chilling. That's how I like to watch football. Right. Basketball, I'm more intricate with it because I play basketball. I kind of, you know, I know the plays, the defenses. I'm more into that. You know what I'm saying? Like how you would be able to just call a defense and you just know, or you can see, like, oh, they're trying to do this. Right. That ain't gonna work or whatever. That's kind of how I am with basketball. And basketball is pretty cut and dry. Like 1-3-1 is one person up top, three people in the middle, and one at the bottom. Right. 1-3-1. Box and one, box, and one person up top. Like easy. But it's difficult when you're running it, and then, like, if you big like me, like I was big playing ball, but I could still hoop. I was kind of like Zion, but without the hops. I couldn't. Okay, I got you. But you know what I'm saying? I just be thinking about the team psychology and like, okay, do you guys even like each other? Dude, do you guys like yourself? Go ahead. Yeah.
Can we pause right there? Okay. I'm ready. So when you are on tour with the band, you see the same people every day. Y'all go to the hotel, you lobby call, you're in the bus, you go eat, you go to the gig, you do all the things together.
Right.
And you're only on stage for maybe 90 minutes.
Okay.
And then it's right back to the hang. And when I was touring, that's why I started looking at like these players, like when they're in the locker room, like what's happening? Like, what is the chemistry like? Is LeBron a cool guy to be around? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I be wondering the same thing for a lot of these guys. Like, yeah, I get it. I really get it, especially on the musician side, because I'll take that segue because I played with a lot of people that we just didn't connect personally. But as far as like sonically, we had that,
fire.
You know what I'm saying? It would come, but then it depended on what they allowed in for their personal selves.
Dude.
And when they start letting that shit get in, everything starts to go to shit. Like it all, and then like the playing suffers, the commitment would lax, you don't want to be here, but it's obvious in the way that you singing. It's obvious. And I had people I worked with that only wanted to sing the top of the song and not they didn't want to learn all of it. It's like, oh, I wanted, like, dude wanted to recreate one of the mint condition songs. Like he wanted to recreate that, but he wanted to mix in a part, and then I think he wanted to mix in it was, I don't know, it was either that mixed with the dude, what's the dude name? Seen White Iverson, when I was balling, I was young.
Oh, Post Malone?
Yeah, he wanted to mix that with that. And so I was like, it could work. I was like, but you need to know both songs backwards and forwards, at least 80%. I was like, 80%. You ain't got to know 100. I was like, but if you take it upon yourself to learn this 100%, there's so much more you could do on stage with that because you would have it. And then you could do whatever you want. I was like, if you know it and I know it, we're going to go places with this shit and it's going to be a vibe and folks are going to get into it.
You preaching an MD word, you sound like a music director. You sound like a musical director.
Hey, wow, I'm going to take that title.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Man, I appreciate that.
Cat Aaron Lewis told me, like, I showed up to a rehearsal, my first rehearsal with him. No, I did not know the music.
Okay.
Big mistake.
Ooh.
That man, he made fun of me the whole rehearsal. But when it came to game day, I was prepared. But he told me, he was just like, you got to know the music better than me. Show up knowing the music better than the artist, better than the musical director, because then you can have fun. Once you know the music, you can have fun. You can do everything you want to do. But you got to learn. That's like Kobe said, you got to learn the fundamentals first. Do the small things right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Do the small things right. I like that, man.
That's Kobe. I can't take that. That's Kobe.
Nah, it's good. I'm still gonna write it down. I needed that.
Shout out to the GOAT.
Because I think that's what we get caught up in, man. We try to do too much.
Dude.
We try to do too much at one time. I just now got back into making lists again. Like I was like, let me just make a list, like 4 or 5 things. And my wife was telling me, she was like, okay, you have 5 things on your list to do today. And I was like, hell yeah. And at one point I had like 10. I was like, I got like 20 things I want to get done. And she was like, you have 20 things on a list you want to get done. I was like, you don't believe in me or some shit? And she was like, no.
Right. Real quick.
And she was
make
like,
it 30.
Oh yeah, bro. And she was like, study. She told me she's real smart. She's super duper brainiac. You know what I'm saying? Got her master's and this, that, and the third, and all of that. But she's in the public health field. So, and then her undergrad is in African American studies. So she's like the perfect combination of an activist mixed with someone that works in any corporate office. So, all right. So we welcome Jay to the show. I don't know if he can hear us yet or not. But yeah, she's like the perfect combination of everything. You know what I'm saying? She just really sound like everybody here. I'll mute him. But yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I don't know where I was going with that. But long story short, I had way too many things on my list. And she was like, how about you just put 4 things on a list and see how you can do with 4? Because what you're going to end up doing is overwhelming yourself again. And then that's going to put you back in that sunken place, so to speak, not being able to get out, and you can't, oh, it's a bar, putting yourself in a sunken place and not be able to get out. Okay.
All right, come on, somebody write that down.
Hey, man, shit, I need to, man, we recorded it, fuck it. But look, I can't afford not to record. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, shit. But she was right. And so like I do Post-it notes. I got sticky notes all over this desk right here. Shit all on my walls, there's affirmations all over the wall behind the computer, just like reminding me every day to, you know, take it a step at a time and don't do too much, but do just enough, you know, that your soul content in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
I was listening to this TED talk. It was about this guy who was super successful. He learned all these different languages.
Okay.
And when he was in college, I guess he was failing, about to get kicked out. And one night he was studying, and long paper he had to do. And he said what he did was he just broke everything down into like 15 minutes of studying, 15 minutes off, 15 minutes of studying, 15 minutes off. And he found that with small increments, he could retain more information.
Absolutely.
His mind was like a little bit refreshed, and clearly must have worked. And then I was watching a video. Odell Beckham was working out. Odell Beckham work out for an hour, play video game for 2 hours, work out for an hour. And it's just like, man, like sometimes I feel like we as people, we always just try to go in for the kill. Like, I'm about to eat this whole elephant.
You can only eat it one bite at a time.
One bite, bro. One bite. And you're going to get full.
Oh, yeah. I had to teach one of my young ones that he was just like, because you never know how much you learn going through life, and then how much actually sticks to like your cranium and your kundalini and all that. You just don't know. People just don't.
Okay.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, Okay. You feel me? You feeling me?
Okay.
You feeling me, bro?
Yeah.
All right. I said a big word. They probably gonna cut the live off now. They gonna be like, oh, he talking about no. Oh no. they probably over there.
Bro.
They probably Instagram head going like, oh hell no.
Bro, I always feel like I'm going through an awakening.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Tell us more.
I just always feel like that's like, you know what I mean? Like just a constant yearning.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Constant yearning. Okay, we're getting deep now. I'm loving this. Don't you dare stop, Vincent. Don't you dare stop. Don't you dare.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can turn conspiracy theorists real quick. Like I like to teeter that line of realist and conspiracy theorists. Maybe they're one and the same, you could say.
So okay. What is one of your conspiracy theories that you believe, you know what I'm saying, like that you think is one of the ones that stuck with you the most that you still teeter with? Because we all have at least like 4 or 5 or 6 of them. But like, what's
this people gonna call me Kyrie Irving.
Oh, we gonna say they didn't go to the moon?
That one's hard for me to swallow.
Was it really that one?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely.
Oh shit! Damn, man! It's like we ain't even practice for this. Okay.
Like, you know, like back to your regular programming, and it's just like, yeah, they can make movies. Like we have the technology to make dope movies. You know, we can make a movie where there's a really big green guy by the name of Hulk, smashing and throwing cars and destroying aliens that come out of the sky. So if we have that kind of technology, don't you think we can easily just put something on the bottom that says, oh, this is official, this is real, believe this?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, and so like maybe I'm just entertaining like the other side. I'm not saying we never went. I'm just questioning.
Mm.
You know, and I'm sorry this everybody's like, what is this nigga talking about? Of course we went to the moon.
And see, that's where everybody goes with it. They all go with of course we went. Okay, now here's the part with that shit that fucks me up every time. Well, if we went to the moon in 1968, why the fuck we ain't going back and forth? Like, you know, real quick, have cities up there now. How come we don't have different things of that nature up there now, or whatever, right? And you know what the answer is?
What?
Oh, we don't have that kind of technology anymore.
See, I don't sleep. Niggas just want to play the flag.
Feel what I'm saying? You know it's some bullshit. You know it's some bullshit.
Like,
nigga, you mean to tell me you went to the fucking, you took a 3-day trip. You took 72 hours out of your time to say, all right, I'm gonna put my life on the line, go away from my family, travel through travel through the existence between this ball to that ball. Right. And go there to put a flag on and say, this is ours. This is ours. You're fucking wrong, first off, because how could that be yours and you only come from one part of the landmass that's on like this whole situation? Bruh. How? That's ego. That's we already know that's American ego. And I feel like if you're gonna put wherever American flag goes, I expect to see a McDonald's really close by. So I ain't seen no McDonald's on the moon. I'm sleep. I'm sleep. I'm sleep. Don't wake me. Oh my God. So are you a space fan? I was actually reading some shit today about space and how when you see astronauts, they're not floating, they're falling because they're actually still, okay. So I need to go there. So I love space. I'm here, bro. I love space. Like I find myself really attracted to the stars and it's always staring. Orion's belt is one of my favorite constellations. Do you sun gaze? Yeah. Oh man, all day. Dude, did you watch the eclipse? Yes. Oh yeah, welcome to the show, Jay. What's up, man? You decided to show up? No, I was playing. But yeah, man. So we were chatting about like conspiracy theories. The one that we left, sports a lot of bit, but the athletic / psychological side of sports mixed with athletic ability and conspiracy theories. So the one that we left off on was did we go to the moon or not? You know what I'm saying? And so Vince are kind of like on the same page with it. I like the idea that we went because it just sounds really fucking cool. And it boosts America's ego. Big time. Yeah. It was an event. Take that, Russia. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Loved it. Take that. we got there first. It was like, it's a space race. I'm telling you. Yo, Jay, I told Tag, every time I see American flag, I expect to see McDonald's. So if there's not a McDonald's on the moon in a couple of years, I lost. The American dream is not true. Now, there's this film. Now I had this. Have y'all ever heard of the Erykahbadu? No, but I'm excited. Okay, so the Erykahbadu is like this thick ass book. I ain't read it all yet. I don't even have my hands on it because it's like really expensive. I think it's like a $400 book. It basically details this this virus that's supposed to come from the moon to Earth by travel, like because we are already going and coming, but they're not telling us type shit. And so basically there's virus up there, and so it's inhabitable. Like we can't contain it here because it comes from there and it's outside of here. And so basically it's not just about the virus, but it's mostly talked about a whole lot of shit. There's what was before is what's now, and what's now is what's before and in between. And it's called the Eckmaster, like ECKMASTER or something like that. I had to send you a screenshot. It's in my phone somewhere. I have to send it to you, bro. Like, I'll drop it in the little group we got. But sorry, go ahead. No. Every time there's a virus, as long as Will Smith is here, I feel safe. As long as Will Smith is here and there's a German Shepherd close by, it's like, yo, I think we'll be okay, yo. We're good, man. We got this. We're fine. We're gonna be fine. Oh yeah, I am a legend. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic film right there, man. I don't know, Jay. What do you feel? Do you feel like we really win?
No, I actually don't. I actually don't. I mean, it was like an event. You know what I mean? Like they were, like, if I'm not mistaken, they was watching this shit on TV. So how? You know, in 1962?
Come on now. Come on now. Look at our movies.
Like how? Like what year was this? 1962 or something? I don't even know, but like my point is the technology, even if it was real, the technology isn't there yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't even know if it's even here yet where you can transport something like a televised event from the moon to here.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't even know if that's even something they can do now. I mean, at least like everyday people that have access to it. I mean, NASA itself probably got some high tech shit, but you know, the regular people don't have that. So I don't think they went, and the point that we never went back is kind of puzzling to me as well. You know, so
you know, they say that we like some people that left didn't come back, but they staged it as if they did or something like that. And then they also say that you can't leave Earth and come back in general. Like they say once you leave the firmament or whatever, and then the like firmament, you can it can be attested to like in the Bible, like it talks about it in like,
come on, bro, speak on it.
Bro. It's in like Genesis, and it's in like 2 or 3 different books from the Bible, and then you know there's also books for the Bible that have been removed, like Enoch and
Book of Enoch.
A book, and that book will teach you a lot. Like it'll open your eye, like you'll open your Kundalini will get popping, it'll get percolated, because you gonna be like, okay. But it makes sense because there's so many other different forces around us that operate at all times. So it's like whenever somebody's acting weird or something like that, it might not be them. It very well could be something that got on or got into them. So you know what I'm saying? It's deeper. As Rick Ross would say, it's deeper than rap. So you know what I'm saying? It's deeper than rap. It's definitely deeper than what the eye sees.
I'm glad you brought up the firmament. Have you ever heard of Operation Fishbowl? This is gonna sound super conspiracy theorist. You've heard of it?
Yeah, you talking about Antarctica and blue and sky ice. You ever heard of that?
What?
Okay,
that's like,
all right. Oh,
that makes so much sense. Like that, I can believe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I can believe that. And the only way to make sure that I feel like that life moves in a way that is conducive for everybody is to say, we went to space, y'all. We are not trapped in this world. We are not trapped under something. We left. There is a galaxy out there. You know?
And then like they say that the stars that you look at, and I believe this part to be true, all the stars that you see are in the past. Like it already happened. Like you're not looking at a star that's just right there. It's already went by, and it's like that's what's left. Because light, you think about how light travels. I don't know a whole lot about is it physics? Not physics. Is it quantum physics and that kind of stuff? And so it's like, have you guys ever seen the movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson?
No. Yes. She uses 100% of her brain.
All right, and so when she was explaining how a car goes by, and she was like, if you look at how fast a car is traveling, and then it started going faster and faster, and then eventually the car disappeared. She's like, how do you even know it's there in the first place? And then she was like, it's perception. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And then that part of that movie made me think about Inception. I know y'all heard Jay knows about Inception. Yes.
One of my favorite.
A dream within a dream within a dream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh
if
man,
you than that. And so that is also one of the films that we will be reviewing, you guys. It's one of the films we gotta review that.
Great movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the greatest actors. Gotta give it to him.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my favorite all time, man. Everything he touches gold.
Fire. He killed Django. Oh man.
Yeah.
Came with it.
Yeah, there's literally only 2 movies that I don't like that he's ever did. One of them is Romeo and Juliet. I hated it. I don't like Romeo and Juliet as it is, but that movie was just a different take. I don't know what was going
Yeah,
on.
they're trying to be too cool.
Yeah, too modern, too cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too weird. And then this other movie that he done called The Beach. It was like, obviously these were movies before he became what he is now. He was still, you know, still the teen, still living that kind of like growing out of that teen actor. Because a lot of people forget he was a teen actor. So a lot of people forget like he was on, you know, the show called Growing Pains. And
Yeah, whoa, yeah.
early 90s. Yeah, he started on there, and then he was in movies like What's Eating Gilbert Grape with Johnny Depp and stuff. So I mean, he's been around for a very long time. The Basketball Diaries, you can go on and on, you know. And then he just kind of like morphed himself. I want to say when he did the Gangs of New York, they kind of like changed everything as far as his trajectory and what he started to do, and you know, because if you know, he's a different type of cat. He does like
He really is.
Period pieces. That's what he does. It's very rare you very rarely see him do movies that's in the present or the future. It's always usually like period pieces, you know. So, but yeah, to me, everything he does is just elite, in my opinion. You know.
Have we all seen the movie Revenant?
Oh yes,
dude.
Yeah.
So really,
it's been a minute.
That movie has to do with him trying to win an Oscar in Hollywood.
Yeah, and it's a shame that it took that long for him to get one, and that's not even
That
his
long. Not even Titanic
like
got
close. I mean, it's an event. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, it's visually it's incredible. You know, it's cinematography, all that's incredible. But as far as like him acting, it wasn't his best movie.
It's a bear. The bear should have got it.
Right, the bear was.
Oh yeah. I've seen this film because it was a 20-minute scene with him wrestling with this digital.
That was
an
intense
like a real
scene.
Bear,
That
was
if I was like, if you to get in a fight with the bear, I was like, that's probably the closest I feel like.
Oh yeah, I was blown watching that. I was just like, whoa.
It was like crazy, and I'm like, and as soon as you thought it was over, as far as like, it just kept.
Got started.
Oh my God!
You thought it was done. You just
stabbed the bear to death. Or he shot it. Did he shoot it? Was he shooting with his pistol?
I think.
Yeah, he tried. Like he tried. You know, they had those little those rifles back here that had like the shot like the pellets and shit.
Yeah.
So you know, he had to like do the whole cleaning out the thing, and the damn bear like in mid-air jumping on it at that point. Like, that shit was a wrap, man.
My nigga stabbed the bear to death falling down the hill.
Yeah.
Like, he was a real one for that.
Yeah, he was a real one. He was a real one.
They're like, give him an Oscar. He beat the bear. We gotta give
it. That movie, it was hard. It was a hard shoot too from what I read, because the director, you appreciate this, Tack. The director of this movie, the entire movie was shot with natural light. So like scenes that occurred in the daytime, they made sure they can only film some of those scenes because the conditions that you seen in the movie were very real. Like, it was like cold as fuck, snow, all that was real.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so like they went on the set and like this shit was real. Now the bear part, it was obviously, you know, CGI or digital and all that shit. But like the actually setting of the movie itself, it was you know, it was very real. So it was times where they couldn't even shoot some days because of the weather conditions and the conditions itself. And the director was very specific that he was wanting to use natural lighting. So every scene that you see in the daytime, all that's natural lighting. And you know, if you think about it, it's really not any many like night scenes in that movie as well. It's
really not.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that at all.
I need to rewatch his Revenant.
Facts.
Yeah, I might watch it pretty soon because I actually have it. I mean, I just have
this, and this is Revenant we talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I do need to check this out again. Then what you saying that, because it kind of, that makes me definitely want to look at just the technical side. Oh, so obviously you guys know who Christopher Nolan is.
Yes.
For sure. So with him doing the Tenet movie, most recently, that's his most recent project. He put out. Have you guys seen Tenet? I know Jay has. Have you seen? You haven't seen it? Oh, okay. I ain't gonna say too much. I just try to find a cheap way to say things that were used in this film were actually used. We'll just leave it at that. So when you watch it, if you can rent the hard copy. Jay and I are very prideful of owning hard copy discs of things that we like to own. Like we have like actual DVD collections, collections. We're huge movie buffs.
Can I ask y'all this? I know I'm the guest, but can I ask y'all a question?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
If you,
it's
give me one movie that you would say you could watch over and over and over again, no matter what.
You go first.
I can give you. I have two in mind, but
oh yes, there's no limit. You should just go. Fuck it.
The V for Vendetta.
Oh, Jay, bruh, I told you. This dude, I told you, dude.
You speak our language, man.
That is one of the realest.
Where have you been?
You want to talk about? You want to talk about acting, dialogue, like the shots. It's like, oh man, that movie's incredible. Like the articulation of V is incredible. I'm like, I want to talk like him.
I have that film. I have it on
Hugo Reeves.
Bruh.
Yeah, I think you and I went to go see that movie, didn't we? Because that came out when we were
hell yeah. V for Vendetta. Okay, I'm gonna do one. A movie that I could watch like continuously.
Over and over and over and over.
Over and over and over. I definitely want to say Twister, not just because we talked about it. You beat me to it.
That's crazy.
I love the dialogue. I love the script writing. I love the shot complex.
Okay.
I loved how well they captured 1996. Like
they really did.
You know what I'm saying? It just made me feel like it makes you feel it's timeless. It's a timeless piece. Twister is a movie that brought my wife and I together. Like she watched it as a kid because she actually wanted to be a meteorologist as a kid. And so, you know, she's real musically inclined and she can sing and all that shit. You know, she could take it another level if she wanted to, but she likes having fun with it, so I respect it. But yeah, man, like we be reciting lines from that movie all the time. Like from the day we met each other to now, we still be saying little shit. So whenever tornadoes come in, be like, "You never seen it miss this house and miss that house coming after you," and she'd be like, "Shut the hell up." I'd be like, "I'm just saying." I was like, you know. But yeah, Bill Paxton was a GOAT, man. R.I.P. because he was a powerhouse. I mean, even all the way back to Alien. He was I really appreciate that film, man. I don't know how else to say it. That's something that I can watch. I know all the words for the most part, like almost the whole script. And I actually used that film in school. I had a voice and diction class I had to take. I had to just do the dialogue. So I literally did both Joe and Bill's part for the third tornado that came, that one when they were going up the hill, touching down and doing all that. I did that whole scene of exchange when it didn't work out, and then that was the, you know, never seen it come from this house, missed it. So I did that whole scene, like I did the whole exchange, because I mean it's just something I said all the fucking time. But, I mean, of course I got an A. You know,
I mean, what a brilliant concept, like a brilliant, down to earth, no pun intended, concept.
Right.
Like tornadoes, like yes, absolutely, tornadoes.
And they made plenty of tornado films in that time frame. Like they had Night of the Twisters. They had
facts.
That one was like the second best next to Twister.
I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, it came on. I think it actually was like a straight to TV premiere or something like that. I think. But I mean, you know, it was pretty righteous in its own right. It was kind of scary. It was actually had like a little ominous vibe to it. Twister was kind of like a combination of both.
Yeah.
But you never knew what you were gonna get. But it was really, I mean, even the soundtrack was dope. Now that's one thing about me. I love a good soundtrack that goes with the film.
Oh,
my only
okay.
hangups with Twister was that they did not have enough of the songs from the film on the soundtrack. That was my only hangup. I think it might have been a copyright issue. But
okay.
Man.
What you got, Jay?
I have 3 that comes to mind. Comes straight to mind. Actually, 4. We already listed one, Interstellar. I could watch that movie. That's one of my favorite movies all time. But I would say Pulp Fiction. Because that is like, anytime that is on, that's the beauty about that movie, because it's not in sequential order, so it doesn't matter typically when you watch it. You know, you're not, because the movie is made purposely that way. It's a lot of interconnected, interweaving stories, as you all, everybody knows.
Man.
So literally, anytime it is on, I will watch it, no matter whether if it's 30 minutes in or an hour and 20 minutes in, because it's a long ass movie.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5 hours. So I can watch that like nonstop. I would say that. I would say The Dark Knight Rises, specifically that one, because I just love that. I just love the conclusion of that. I like Bane. I just like, Tack was talking about soundtracks. I just like the composition in that. Huge.
Is that John Williams?
Huh?
Is John Williams? No, or is that Zimmerman? Yep.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer. So anything that he composed is pretty fire.
Oh man,
it's pretty. It's it just goes well with the movie. So pretty much all of Christopher Nolan's movies have been done by Hans Zimmer. I think the only movie that he did not use Hans Zimmer for is Tenet, and that's just because of scheduling conflicts.
Wow.
So yeah, he's done just about every Christopher Nolan movie except for that one.
That he did use for Tenet was fire too. All his
I forgot who it was for Tenet. The guy that they used for Tenet was well known too.
Fire. Like dude, like I don't know. It's on the movie. I gotta go back and find, because I watched the whole. I mean, I usually watch all the special features for most of my films anyway. It's how you learn stuff. But yeah, he was breaking down like scene to scene how you pick sounds for that. And he was like, you thinking about something going through a wall, because I don't want to give away too much. But like something's going through a wall. He's like, how do we make that sound? He's like, okay, you want to break it down from what does the wall look like? What does the wall feel like? What does it smell like in the air? What's the room smell like?
What? That's detail.
Like, he was trying to put sounds with each layer of understanding of making this scene come to life. And so that's the type of stuff in film I really appreciate. It makes it more bearable when you have a team around you that does that. Because with me, when I do my stuff, I do like to have at least 2 people working with me on it, or at least one person I bounce something off of before I just kind of go shoot something. But like, that's the kind of stuff that takes you out of it if you don't have like a little crew with you or something. Like, that's why I like being a part of a team. I like being in a band. I like being, I don't want to be like a solo artist. And
yeah. Feel that.
I tried my hand at producing for a while, but I just realized I wasn't really passionate at producing. I'm more passionate at like the production aspect of trying to put like a track together, or like, just learning more about the audio equipment and things like that. Because when I was playing in churches before, we didn't mic anything. Like, it was just all live. I mean, it's still live now where I play now, but they're starting to move and they're progressing into like trying to control things more instead of it just being all out. And so, I feel that. That's for real.
Another movie I thought of was Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
I think
That's a good one. I've seen that.
I have to go back and watch it. I haven't watched it in a very long time. I did watch the HBO one that just came out, about a year or so ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't watched the Zack Snyder one in a few years. I have the director's cut too. I'm gonna have to check that out because it's been a minute.
Zack Snyder did Watchmen. Did not know that.
Yeah.
That gives me hope then for Justice League.
That was peak Zack Snyder. I think he had done 300 like the year before. Yeah.
Oh, I have high hopes for Justice League.
Yeah, Zack Snyder did that. Yeah, that's his shit.
Because Marvel's been whooping DC Comics ass.
Oh yeah, they shit don't. Yeah, Batman has been single-handedly carrying DC for at least the last 20 years.
Like, what do you want from me?
Like, I don't care what they say about Wonder Woman or like Batman is carrying that, carrying DC.
Not only do I save Gotham,
he really does. He really does, man. Because I don't know. I personally I've never found Superman that interesting, but but I do know a lot of people that do. So I just don't understand why can't you make a good Superman movie? I don't understand. Like it just baffles me. I mean, I get the closest thing that was decent, I guess, was Man of Steel. That was okay, but still, like it was. I don't know what it is with Superman movies. They just miss for me. And maybe it's just I don't have a personal connection to Superman. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I just don't understand why. But yeah, Batman is definitely the GOAT when it comes to DC.
Joker helped.
Joker, yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't know what to expect with Joker because when it first was announced that Joaquin Phoenix was taking on a Joker, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was gonna have any continuity with like the universe that they already have. If it was gonna be something standalone. I didn't know what to expect, and then I kept hearing how dark it was gonna be, and then the trailer started to drop and all of that. I was just like, this is interesting. The movie was a mindfuck, to say the least. The movie was
wild.
Yeah. It was. He definitely deserved that Oscar for sure. He earned it. That performance alone was definitely Oscar worthy. But yeah, that movie was a mindfuck, man. But yeah, it was. It was. I went in with pretty low expectations because I didn't know what to come away with it. So it ended up being pretty good for me.
Supposedly we've all seen Joker, right?
I haven't seen it, but
okay,
you can talk about it. You can talk about it.
Well, supposedly at the end, when I watch a film, I always try to go find a podcast or just listen to other people talk about the film. Right. I just have to do that with movies. Supposedly at the end of Joker, when he's being interviewed, when he's in the asylum, he's laughing because he knows who Batman is. And when the woman asks what's so funny, he's like, you wouldn't get it. Yeah, that's why, when he's laughing, he's thinking or he's playing stuff back through his mind.
That's true.
Supposedly that's him figuring out who Batman is, and he looks a little older when he's in the asylum, so clearly he's gotten out and you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. Little hidden things that you
I live for that in movies.
It was a lot of Easter eggs in that movie though.
Oh man.
A lot of connections to a lot of different Arkham's type of Gotham City type things and Batman directly. So it was a lot of Easter eggs if you could catch them. Because the thing is, the movie is so different than any other DC movie. It's more so it's you're watching something else and they just slap the Joker's title on it.
Right.
It's nothing because if you go in thinking that you're about to watch something that's you're about to see Batman and you're about to it's gonna be something more comic book style, you're gonna be sadly mistaken because
You're gonna be real sad.
Yeah. I could watch it. I was watching parts of it. I haven't seen it in its entirety, but I could tell it's definitely like a mental health rooted film and it's like a psychological thriller.
That's exactly what it is.
Kind of puts you in the mindset of like Split, but like way more of a step in the what's the word I'm looking for? Mainstream Split instead.
Yeah.
Split was more like for folks that have read parts of the DSM-5, or Split is like really heavy. That's a tough
It
one.
really is. And M. Night Shyamalan, thank God he came with that one because he kind of lost me for a while.
He be losing me with everything he
happening. I was like, what's happening?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's like, oh, dude, get run over by that crop duster. I was just like, okay.
Nope. Dude trying to give his arm to the lion. I was like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know.
You know, M. Night Shyamalan, or Shyamalan is like a perfect example of someone that, you know, like you're watching a game of basketball, you see a 3-point shooter make a shot, you know, you think he about to catch fire. M. Night Shyamalan is the direct opposite of that. He'll make a 3, then go down there and shoot an air ball. You know what I mean?
Right. Get back on defense.
Yeah.
Get in the press. Get in the
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with him in movies, man, because like he'll drop a dime and then he'll turn around and just like, what the hell is this? Like The Visit was not The Visit, excuse me. The Village. The Village, yes. That is the worst movie I've ever seen.
But
it didn't take long to figure out.
But after a while, when you get to be grown though, okay, Jay, I think this is one of them ones we talked about though. Remember when The Village came out, it was like 2004. We were in the 10th grade, and that shit, it was different. I think now it's more of a psychological thing. It's like when you think about how scared people get of shit that they can't see, then they just believe a motherfucker next to them, tell them, hey, it's green out there. It's supposed to be blue. And then people be like, yeah, it is supposed to be. You got 80 motherfuckers saying it's supposed to be blue, but they're afraid of it because it might be green. That's basically what that movie was. But
are you saying that movie dropped too soon? Because what if it dropped now? Would it hit?
It might.
Would it?
You might have been old or something. I hit it. Because it just, because 2004 is like when it was dropped, I was like 16, 15, depending on what time of year. So that shit, I didn't understand that shit.
Nah.
You know?
Bruh. That's good. That's a good question. Dang,
it might have.
Which was like a 4.0 student or something. Like he was just dropping all this. He was like, "So, are you saying?" I was like, "What?" I'm like, I wasn't thinking that at all. Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. And see, the Village kind of. I forget I'm gonna look it up here in a minute. But the Village kind of put me in the same mindset of The Witch. Have y'all seen The Witch?
Oh man. I was about to say that's one of the greatest. It's not even horror. It's just brilliantly done.
It's a thriller.
They did it. Bravo to that guy.
Let's see if I can find. I'm gonna pull it up right
now.
And
Hereditary, we'll talk about later.
Okay.
How about Midsummer?
Oh, amazing! I was when you said horror, I was gonna say Midsummer. One of the greatest movies.
Shot. That's one of the best shot movies that I have ever seen.
Dude, like they bring you in, like you are there on this confine, excuse me. Like you're there, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. You seen Midsummer, bro?
Midsummer?
Yeah.
Who's the director?
It's the guy who did Hereditary.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Check it out, bro. It's
Midsummer. I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, it's nothing that you've ever seen before. Let's just
mental health.
Yeah. The director's name is Ari Aster, and it came out July 3rd of 2019. So
2019.
Not even 2 years yet.
Wow. Yeah, that movie is amazing.
Yeah, I was just like watching it one night because I frequently have nights where I'm just up and everybody, including my wife, was asleep. I was just up one night, just was like bored. I was like midsummer. I was just like, I've been hearing a lot about that movie, so I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
You know, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I knew I had no intent on finishing the movie.
Right.
But when I started watching it, I just was like,
Yeah.
You know, I got a second wind in me because I couldn't stop watching. I'm like,
Yeah.
It was, you know, it was the build up, bro. You have to watch it, man. We have to discuss.
Yeah, and then for switching back, the director for The Witch is a dude named Robert Eggers.
He won the Sunfire Film Dance. What is it called? The
Sundance Film Festival or something like that.
Yeah.
Sundance Film Festival.
Out.
And well deserved, because The Witch, the ending of that, like that's one of those movies that I had me thinking about the movie like a week after.
It was a trip. I mean, it was on Netflix. We had our code or whatever, so we logged in, and so we just got into it, and it's like it just kept building and kept building and kept building, and like you said, the ending of it like really had me like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, so
yeah.
it was really something there, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it makes you think like it makes you think about like ayahuasca and DMT, and it made me think about like mushrooms and shit like that would make you realize what power we really have as these electrical beings. So people list it as being a witch or witchcraft and stuff like that, but it's like the very things that people call witchcraft, they be like, oh, you be doing rituals and stuff like that, you a witch. I'm just like, so when you go to church and you do communion, are you all not witches? And are you all not conspiring to something that's higher? It's like, if you've been to church, everybody's had communion before, and they say, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. You're drinking someone else's blood. You're eating his flesh. Sound like a ritual.
Man, didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and it's like, I ain't hating. It's just I don't like it with the whole Christian thing where people get to like walk whatever line they want to walk and then treat people bad on the other side of it, because that's just displaced anger from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't dealt with the hurt in your life somewhere else, and you're casting it out through your religion. And so with religion, that's where I have like broken that. For me, it's like, I'm done. You know, it's like, I'm good with like just God and the relationship aspect, like you and I were talking about before, Vince. Like, we talked about just having a relationship, and that is important for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, getting to know the God in you, or your spirit man, some people will say, that's important. Because if you don't have that foundation for yourself, then you just out here.
Dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Bringing up The Witch, have you guys seen Ready or Not? That movie had me thinking like, I don't know. Jay, do you feel me?
Yeah, I feel you, man.
So was this a horror film, or was this like a suspense, or like jump scares?
It was kind of like on The Witch. Like, she made a deal with the devil at the end of the movie, The Witch, and you know, boom. Well, in this movie, this family called the what is their name? LaBelles.
Yes.
Wait, was that the family, the LaBelles?
I think so. I know they were like a family that like, I think they were a family that like that specialized in games or some shit like that. Like their great grandpa, was like the founder of like what you would call Mattel, Play School or Mattel, like those, those gaming companies, Hasbro. He was something like that, and and they have like a tradition for like anytime someone joins the family or some shit like that, they have to play a game.
Oh wait, I've seen this.
Yeah,
they were at the dinner table, and there's like weapons, but they weren't really weapons.
Yeah,
I've seen this.
Yeah. It kind of puts you in it kind of gives you your next vibes. All the fucking arrow stuck in your neck. Your next.
I'm the fastest, but I got this arrow stuck in my fucking back.
But yeah,
Have you ever seen that, Vince?
I haven't, but that's great.
Oh man, Your Next is amazing.
You are now. This is a pitch. I don't know if you've seen this one or not. Have you ever seen this movie called Monster Man?
No.
Oh yeah,
God.
classic. You need to. That's one you're gonna have to find though. It's kind of like one of those dumpster treasures because it's something that you would just find. But once upon a time, Jay and I used to manage a movie store. It was called Movie Gallery, if anybody remembers it. And I used to manage it, and I just like hired Jay at random, and I was like, "Hey, you want to make some extra money this summer?" I was like, "I'm bored up here, bro. I just be in the store by myself." He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Y'all hiring?" I was like, "Yeah, this is the interview right now. So if you can like start next week, that'd be great." I was just because the dude was like, he was like, my manager was like, "If you want to hire somebody, like 1 or 2 people to like help us out, that would be great." And I was like, "Okay." And so I called him and I was like, "Hey, what you doing right now?" And we just had a phone interview for no reason. I was just like, "Yeah, just come up here on Monday and let's just get your paperwork started because I'm not doing this by myself." So we rented this movie called Monster. We rented like, because we had to rent everything for free because we had to be able to tell people about the movies and make sales and shit like that. And so Jay ass rents like Monster Man at random, and I was like, "The fuck is this?" He was like, "Monster Man." He was like, so we would watch shit in the store or watch it at home or whatever. And so we ended up watching this dude. I think he ended up buying it because it was so funny. It was a horror film, but it was like comedy, like the whole thing. And so like we used to laugh at like shit in movies, or people would like the way people would die in movies would be hilarious.
Oh man. Yes.
Like, who dies like that? Like
yes.
Like that?
Yes. like Science Theater, 3000.
Yes. That's exactly yes. Oh man, yeah, dude. Where have you been all this time, man? Like, do you have more people that are similar to you that
I got a couple, bro.
What's up, man? Yeah, man. I think I recorded some of their episodes just off GP because I saw them. Like I woke up in the middle of the night and just hit record. I was like, "All right, yeah, I'm gonna watch that later."
Dude, brilliant. And as a kid, I would always pass it. When I got older, do I appreciate Science Theater?
It's good because it shows you the truth about like film and how people think about it.
Right?
Because like you do make jokes about like the film as you're watching it most of the time. Like, and then like, okay, here's the other part. Jay and I used to work for rival movie theaters at one point in time. And so like it was nice, man. Like high school and going into college was a real golden time to be alive because we watched a lot of free shit.
Yeah.
We saved so much money.
I got fired from working at a movie theater.
Oh, that's all good. We've all been fired before. I got some stories on that shit too. Shit.
My blood brother came into a theater and he was high as hell and just loud. And he was just like, I need something to drink, but I need you to take that large popcorn bucket and fill it with pop. And of course, it's like my blood brother and it's like late. I'm like, I got you. I filled this popcorn thing up with pop. And they let me go for that.
Oh man,
that was it for me.
He said, "Hey, they let me go for that."
That was it.
Man,
they're like you're reckless.
They're like something's wrong with you. We had this dude at our theater one time that was like, man, this dude went in there early, and so it was like super early, like 40 minutes early. And I was just like, oh, he in there watching the movie. I didn't give a shit because this is when cell phones was coming around a little bit. I had a little razor back then, and I'm just on there playing games and shit, waiting for him to get out. He's in that bitch chilling, feet up on the seat, watching the movie and shit. And then this white dude comes in, manager. I'm walking in, he walking right behind me. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, you need me or whatever. He was like, nah. He's like, I'm looking for such and such. And I was like, that's my dude. He like 40 years old, but he was cool, old 40-year-old. He smoking joints all the time and before he come in, and he was just up there blowed, chilling, watching the movie with his feet up and shit. And he was like, oh, there he is. And so the manager is standing there looking at him like this, just like,
really?
Come on. He was like, come on down. And so because there's nobody else in the theater.
Yeah.
Dumbass. So I was just like, why you go up here and there's like nobody here? And he fired him. Like he fired him like he made it look like he was gonna like write him up. He fired his ass like the next day or some crazy shit. But then he ended up coming back like a month later. That was Regal. Like Regal was so like jank about how they did their operations and shit. They had you thinking it was a whole operation, but it was really just a building with some projectors in it and shit. So it's like that's pretty much
like, hey, we made a mistake.
Like.
We need you back.
Exactly. It's so many people that went and came from that job. Like
it's an institution.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. But here's a crazy question we want to throw out there, man. What is something that you could talk about for 20 minutes without preparation that has nothing to do with like your profession or your passion?
Okay, this one, I have so many answers.
Oh.
I could talk about how I think males are it's not a good look for us right now in the year 2021.
Wow. Woo. Okay. You got us pulled in now.
Okay, me and my wife talk about this all the time. I was raised by a feminist. I love my mom to death.
Okay.
Very strong Black woman.
Right.
Me and her had a conversation the other day, and she was saying the Black woman is at the bottom, and I said no way. I was like, the Black man is at the bottom. Like we're the most
the struggle for the bottom, basically.
Right. She was like, well, Black women, we have to deal with it from the white man and the white woman and this and that and this. And I was like, I feel like Black men, we take it from like everybody, even including ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we take it from everybody.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. I got 19 more minutes.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like that too for the most part. Yeah, I talked about that with my wife too, because we meet in the middle on it because like we've caught it from all different sides. You know, me with jobs I work and stuff like that, and then like having anxiety and all that kind of shit, like just different things that happen in life. And I think it's sad. One thing that about like Black folks that gets me with us is that we victimize ourselves a lot,
bro.
And then when you say it, like when you are a Black person saying it like that, it just makes other Black people like angry or with you. But it's like, well, it's not really you being angry with me. You just have stuff that you haven't dealt with yet, and you're compartmentalizing your anger all on me because you don't have an outlet for how to work that shit out. Like I don't have all the answers, but I know I got to do something that's positive that I enjoy, that is an outlet for me to push that out. So I'm a drummer. I'm also a photographer. I do video. I don't write, but I like to write my thoughts out so that way that I'm getting them out of my head onto paper.
Yes.
And it's becoming, you know what I'm saying? And it heals me in a sense. And so I feel like as Black people, if we took that road more often, working hard to find out what that outlet is, then it would make the difference in like the struggles that we have now currently. But there's not enough of us doing that together, and there's not enough of us making it popular or making it known. So it's like the packs of us that exist throughout the world is what we have to catapult off of each other. Like we got on this podcast, we met you. I saw the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like I was digging the music off real. Because I was like, all right, yeah, that's the kind of shit I'm trying to get into, trying to find people to find that shit.
Yeah.
And you, like I was like, yeah, I can see these vibes. Like it's all y'all are just having fun. And when we see it, it's sad that when we see fun or see something that's good, it's foreign. It shouldn't be that way. I think that it should be more apparent, you know?
Like touring with a like all white band.
Yeah. What was that like, man?
Oh, bro, it was wild. Like we would step in, especially like playing in the South. Like, and I'm from the Midwest, you know.
Okay.
Kansas, it was like a free state.
Right.
So, and me and my wife are from there, and I tell anybody this. Like, I got homies here that tell us all the time.
True.
Like where I'm from, you see more biracial couples than anything. Like that's like actually the norm. If you see a couple that's like the same race, it's like, what's going on here? So when me and her came to Nashville, the South, like our hybrid state, you know, I got some friends from Mississippi. My father's from Mississippi. I got some friends from Mississippi, some homies from Memphis, whatever. You know, they kind of bust my balls, whatever, like who I'm with. They're like, man, what you doing, bro? Like, you know what I mean? You're supposed to be with a sister, and I'm like, you know, like that, like my mom was always on that, but it was just kind of crazy. I'm like, wow, like I'm really in the South now. Like this is the South.
Oh yeah, and they treat you like it's from the South too, man. Like,
bruh.
Yeah, like if with with me, I just ask people straight up what it is. It's like I don't want any confusion. Like I ask, is your wife white or black? Because I was looking at the picture, I'm like, oh cool. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And so like most people would be like, you got a white woman, it's a white, that's that's
bruh.
And it's not really. I don't know if that's really the South or if that's really just.
And I want to say, I'm not trying to disrespect y'all's home. Like, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to disrespect the South, I guess.
Man, bro.
Because I love, like, this is my favorite place. I'm not trying to leave the South.
Look, man, I ain't from here, bro. I'm trying to figure out my whole heritage and stuff like that. Exactly where I actually come from. So,
okay.
Beyond that, it's deeper than just land soil, bro. So it's astral. You know what I'm saying? This is one plane we on right here. We got more planes to go to. So it's like,
speak on it.
You can't get caught up in this shit. Like it's easy to though, because shit be happening,
Man, I literally just committed a sin. I can't stand when people like you say compartmentalize things or like create divisions.
Yeah. And
I'm always preaching against that. And so for me to speak on the South, differentiating from Midwest. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, all listeners.
Facts. Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, it's hard for me to see what's really competition or what's really passion versus anger. Because it's tough. It's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you decide to make better decisions for yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, when you get to that spiritual level, everything around you question. I mean, you question it all, and you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to hit that shit, and then you get there like, okay, why are you this way? And it's like you've been like this for 30 years, and I met you 6-7 years ago, but you appear to kind of be in the same place with like minuscule things, like. You still mad at your dad? You still mad at your best friend? Like, okay, I was like, well, when are you gonna let some of that go so you can get some reciprocity on that? But now I sound like the weird one because I want to heal. And so I feel like that's the thing with Black folks. We don't allow ourselves to heal because for so long we were taught to not cry in front of people. You don't feel anything. Don't ever let them see you sweat. And it's like,
Man, so you speaking facts right now, because like
that's what always happens, man. It's the algorithm, man. As soon as you get ready to talk some real shit, man,
it's getting good. Hold on, cut.
They're like, oh no,
Miami Dolphins.
You about to? Yeah, that was good. That was real good. He was like, hold up, $72. Hold up. Yeah, it's probably like their code name, $72. Like, oh.
72 Dolphins. Tom Brady over Michael Jordan.
Oh my God. It's like, quick, assemble the referees before it's too late. Like, God. Oh, okay. Looks like
but I'm not buying Tom Brady shoes. Let's be very clear with that.
Yeah, shoes for sale?
If he did, I'm not buying them.
I'm out, bro. I don't even really understand. Okay, and then that's my thing too. Like with style and shit, I was born in 89. So
likewise.
what month?
December 29th.
December 29th. Oh, at the end. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Dang. So, okay. So you turned 32
This year.
This December. Okay, yeah, I turned 32 in May. I'm a May 6th.
Or really, like I turned 31 again because 2020 really doesn't count. Like,
yeah, it didn't really feel like it happened. It felt like everything was like simulated.
Yeah, so redo.
Yeah, and I don't even know if 2021 is gonna. I think 2022 is actually gonna be like the first year back. But I don't know how I feel about it, man.
So we're turning 31 and a half this year.
31 and a half, 31.5. We'll just say that. It's our 31.5 year right here.
TBA.
Man, I see that so much on my work schedules and shit. It's like, it's TBA.
Bro, I love TBA. TBA and NA is like one of the greatest things ever.
Oh, yeah, I love NA. Especially when I like don't want to be involved in it. I'm just like, NA. They'd be like, what does that mean? Not applicable. Like, I don't have an answer for it. Like, I'm trying to stay out.
Right.
I swear I'm trying to stay out. Like, most of the time people be asking me, what do you think? I'm like, I don't think. I was like, I don't have an opinion on, especially when it comes to certain things. Like, some stuff you just got to have energy for it. Like,
bruh, preach your word.
I'm like, if you don't have the energy for it, it's not even worth it, bro. Like,
it's really not. You're asking me to give you something. You're asking me to get involved. And
it's like,
you're about to say something about style. You're about to go in on style.
Okay, yeah, I am. I got you. I'm glad you brought that back up.
You're about to hold somebody accountable.
I am. Fashion is cool, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I was born in '89, so I like to consider myself an '80s kid. But they're like, people always like, you can't be an '80s kid because you didn't live through the '80s. And I was just like, but I was born in them. So it's like, how are you gonna tell me I'm not? Whatever.
Right. So, we soaked it up. We had no choice.
Exactly. And then we, like you said, when you mentioned coming in on the tail end of Michael Jordan and going into LeBron James, we are like the bridge the gap children.
Absolutely.
Children that live under the stairs, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's like, but so this whole style thing in Black folks, bro. I think we allow way too much power over labels.
Come on, bro.
Now, I love Seinfeld because it's a great fucking show. I like the way the logo looks. I like the color construct. I like the contrast. That's why I bought the shirt. But I'm also a t-shirt. I'm a t-shirt. That's my whole wardrobe is t-shirt.
Feel that.
You know what I'm saying? And then being a drummer, you comfortable most of the time anyway because you got to play gigs and stuff and stylish and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. But then when I was growing up, like in church and stuff, like everybody, I got my start in church, but I already had my own set. Like my mom invested in me a long time ago, bought me a set for Christmas in '99, and so it was lit. I was just like, oh fuck, like it's like an actual up, it's like 2 up, 1 down with a symbol. I was tripping. I was like, dude, it's a real shit. Kill him at church. Oh, bro, I'm about to be good. And so like, but I think about that kind of stuff, and it's like with these Jordans and shit, right? I like Michael Jordan. I also like Michael Jordan's shoe when he was playing. So it's like, it's more of an edge for you to wear them because he's actually still out here doing his thing. When he retired, to me, the shoe retired. I was just like, I don't need to wear this no more because you're not even out here. And then it's like people, and then when you think about the people killing each other over it, it's just like, it's a label, bro. Like you dying over a shoe that costs 97 cents to make.
Bruh.
But then they mark it up on us, 200, 220, and you are proud of yourself. Now, if you want to go deeper than that, it's like, okay, well, you like music. You and I both like music equipment. We like MacBooks, MPs, drum pads, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, we like all those different things that help us create sounds and stuff like that. And those things cost upwards of 200, 300, 400, and sometimes 1,000. Yeah, easy. So it's like, who am I to say, what's what? But it's like, I'm also not killing somebody over this drum pad. So it's kind of like, I can't afford it. I'm gonna have to get it, or I'm gonna have to go through Sweetwater or something and just figure it out. Everybody go through Sweetwater because they got the best payment plans. They know we all broke. They know we out here trying to do gigs, but they want to make a way for people to do what they got to do without killing somebody.
Facts.
And so, like, that's the thing with me is just like fashion. I didn't have a good relationship with fashion because people's attitudes and how they existed around it made it weird for me. And so I think that, like, with black folks, sometimes we should just be cool with just wearing whatever looks good to us or whatever feels good to us. And it doesn't have to always be about a black and white or an Asian. It doesn't have to always be tied to some kind of race. Because race is really just a construct. Like, they gave it to us a long time ago.
Bruh. Okay. We're going to circle back to that construct. I was talking to my wife. It had to been today. I was like going through my shoes. And I'm trying to order some gear. And I was looking at my shoes, and some of them I haven't even worn. I'm like, wow, this is that gear I should have bought. That can I can be investing into myself. But instead, I gave it to this person. Like, when I look at some clothes, I'm like, I'm throwing my investment away. I'm just throwing myself away. I'm giving myself to this person. I'm a sneakerhead. I could care less about any other article of clothing. Right. Shoes, though, I care about. I don't know why, you know what I mean? But it's bad when I'm like, I should have this over here that can be pushing me towards my goals instead of these things that are just for other people's perception. That's why I told my wife, we're buying for other people's perception.
Yes, I agree.
Like,
I feel like we do a lot of things for other people's perception. Though.
Oh,
like,
bro,
that's how that's how the machine works. Like, that's the same shit that you learned in school. So it's like you learn in school how to, like, go get a job, go to a college to get this type of job to be perceived as ABCD. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. And so, like, if you, it's sad that that's pretty much how we've been engineered and wired to be.
Right.
They thought we're doing it to be viewed from somebody else, to be picked up for something. But it's like people be saying, like, oh yeah, this is about to put me on right here. I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to ride the coattail of this person. I'm just like, just put yourself on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll still end up meeting those people, and I don't like, if you work with them instead of trying to work behind them, then it'll put you in a better spot to be seen. You know what I'm saying? If your desire is to be seen, mine, I'm always in the background. I'm playing drums. So it's like,
that's the way to be. That's where it's at.
I always lit back there. Cause I mean, you don't, I could go into that, but it's a whole lot of, it's tough though. It's tough for me. Sometimes it's tough being a drummer when you've played with people that are passionate and they get in your ass about stuff that they needed to get in your ass about. Like you said before, you didn't know the music one time, but that motivated you to make it better.
Ooh.
And so now you're expecting that when you play with other musicians of any tier. You're like, okay, you got to have some kind of something about you that's got you in this position, instead of it just being us in here just coming to play music. That'd be my issue with people that get in there wanting to play half the song, or they say they want to do this song, but they don't have enough voices to achieve it. Or the voices that they have, they're not creative enough mentally to try to make the song their own. I'm like, you don't have to sing a track as is. I was like, if you want to just do covers, just say you want to do covers. But if you want to, like, recreate some shit and kind of have fun with it on stage, like open mic night or set or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to get serious about it. Cause like with the like background singers, or not even background, like praise team singers and stuff like that, I'm telling them stuff like, you know, drink your room temperature water throughout the week. You know, I was like, you know, if practice is on Wednesday, you want to be hydrating from Wednesday every day, honestly, but you definitely want to be seriously hydrating from Wednesday until Saturday or Sunday morning, so that you hydrated. You know what I'm saying? You've been getting your rest, you've been practicing. And I was like, rehearsal is rehearsal. Practice is on your own time. I was like, so you gotta, what's up?
That's my amen.
I'm just saying, bro. I was just like, that shit pisses me off, bro. Like, I hate it coming to practice, and sometimes I'm not fully prepared because some of the songs are like that simple. Because we're not really playing them lick for lick. We're just kind of like roundabout doing them, because there's been times where I prepared for a full song and then they change it. And we never see it again, never hear it again. And we do something from before that's just like some tired ass song from before. And then, you know, with the church and stuff like that, people get into it, or, you know, you just kind of, it just depends. Like, it just really depends, but it depends on the group. And yeah, like that's what I was saying, man. Rehearsal is rehearsal, and practice is practice. Practice is on your own time. Rehearsal is when we're literally coming to review the stuff that you've been practicing and revise the stuff that you've been practicing. Then we rehearse and finalize. So once it's final, there are no changes after this. There are no more changes. I mean, and if there is a change, it's something you absolutely know. I was like, but most of the time, I was like, if we don't have something that we absolutely know, then at the end of the rehearsal, if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, that's when you bring it out. And then we have another conversation if necessary, because you don't want to get out there looking crazy on game day.
Dude, oh man, you are speaking on so many things now.
I got stuff, bro. I got stuff.
I had something I was about to say that was so good. We're talking about people showing up, music.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Michael Jordan's Last Dance. We've seen it.
Yes, classic.
When I like play some music with people, some people I play with have that Jordan mentality. Like, they will get in your ass if you fuck up. Like, stop the music, nigga. What are you doing? That's happening to me. You know what I mean? And that shit like makes me play better. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah, you got to push.
You know what I mean? And there are some people who like are like, oh, I don't like that kind of energy. And I'm like, nigga, are you trying to win a championship? Are you trying to win a ring? Because niggas who are trying to win a ring are like, we'll be friends after we can toast and be friends when we won our chip. When the goal has been achieved, then we can be friends and celebrate. But right now, I don't care about, I don't care. Let's work. We here to, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like stuff like that. Like, I think there's a time and a place. And like, if we show up for rehearsal, like, the mindset needs to be like, we're trying to win a championship right now. Like, that's what we're going for. Let's give it that. If niggas want half-ass, okay, that's fine. You know, that's on you. I'm not trying to.
Nah, yeah, like that's me, because I come from a line of old school musicians. So like, I was always pushed to go to the next level and shit. So it's like, I'm playing in the house all the time. I'm playing with music, learning about time signatures, not knowing that's what it was, but I'm learning how to play with music and stay at a certain speed, because it's easy to get off sometimes without a metronome. I don't play with click tracks that much because I don't like it. But I like playing live. But then at the same time, now getting into the professional side of it, I like the idea of it, because it helps you train a part of your brain and simultaneously, like, you know, your feet and shit to stay somewhere. Yeah. And then like pocket is key. I learned pocket first before anything. Like, I just own. And I love a good pocket. I love a good groove. I love a good I have to send you some of the shit that I just like kind of saved over the years. Yeah. That I resonate with. But you know, some of my favorite drummers, like I'm a Questlove head.
Oh man. I love his books.
You know, I forgot about his book.
Oh yeah, Mo Meta Blues, Quest Creativity. I got it right over there. It's all good. Creative Quest.
So with the reading, what's your process of reading? Like, how do you go into it? Like, how do you internalize what you read? Like, what's your process?
Of like internalizing what I'm reading?
Yeah, and then like when you pick something, like what, I mean, do you read out loud? Do you read to yourself, or
so as a kid, I had a really bad stutter, and my mom would make me read out loud. My mom was very big on education. Like, she was just like, y'all are, me and my older brother, she's like, y'all are black boys in white schools. They're going to try y'all, but y'all are going to show them otherwise. You know what I mean? So my mom,
each other's doppelganger or something, because we literally have the same life.
bro, my mom was like, you gonna read out loud? And when I got done reading, she's like, she would grab the book and like, now tell me what you just read.
Yeah.
Tell what you just read about. And then would go back and I'm like, you know, so like that kind of stuff really helped. So when I'm picking a book, I always go for, I do a lot of memoirs or self-help books, but most of my memoirs are men that look like me. Definitely. Like the first one I ever read was Black is the New White by Paul Mooney. His memoir. And I care about memoirs because they just remind me that I'm human too, and that whatever I'm chasing, I'm going to go through storms, if you will. And that if I just continue to believe in what I'm going for and just like believe I'm already there, that all this will pass and I will be at my destination or arrive at wherever I see in my head.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that, or if it's like my brother bought me the Alchemist a couple years ago, and he wrote me a letter in it.
I am reading that right now.
Where are you at in it?
I'm only I'm only like 25 pages in because my ass, I keep stopping. That's my problem, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's my problem with books. Is like I'm not one of those book buyers that I just like to just buy a bunch of books and feel like I'm cool. I'm buying books.
Right.
I actually want to get to them, and I start a lot of them, and then like what happens is I get past a point of no return, and I'm not reading it, like expiration. I start all over because it's like I want it to be fresh. But The Alchemist, I'm at the point. Do I have it on? I can tell you where I'm at.
He's probably just getting ready to head to Africa.
They're in Africa. He just left the bar where he didn't know anybody, and
the dude's about to play him right now. He's about to get played.
And you can tell the way it's reading, it looks like he's about to get played. Because he wants this treasure so bad. And it's like you can tell it's a life thing, man. Like when people,
dude, don't even get me started on The Alchemist. Right? Like, bro, that book. I was microdosing when I read that book, and
okay, all right. Let me put my shirt down because my fat coming out. Hold on. So wait. Okay, I have many questions now. This is turning into like a movie.
No, this is great. And when I was microdosing, like I picked up that book and I almost finished it in one sitting. And that's not normally how I read. Like I might, like you make 20 pages, maybe even 10.
Yeah,
it really depends on how
day kind of guy.
Yeah, it depends on how well whatever's happening. But this day I was just like so focused and locked in on what I was reading that,
Walk me through the microdosing process.
So one of my bandmates of the Delta Saints, Dylan, the guitarist, he went to school for mushrooms. And
botany or just particularly mushrooms and ayahuasca?
Like growing mushrooms for yes, but mainly he likes to grow mushrooms to sell to restaurants, gourmet, but he also will give you the magic ones, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to put his business out there. Anyways, but psilocybin,
I don't even know what you're talking about. We good.
Right. He was doing research on psilocybin and how like these companies on the West Coast are having some of their employees like microdose, and they're just seeing like what it's doing to the brain, and the fact that your brain responds to psilocybin or mushrooms, one of the most natural ways to trip. Like your brain is like, I know this. LSD is so man-made that it kind of fucks you up, but mushrooms, like, yes, this I get. And bro, when I did it, I was just like you're not even tripping. It's just your brain is just like, it's like coffee, but it's a way more precise kind of coffee.
Okay. And
that's the best way I can describe it.
A buddy of mine that put me on it said that when you do it, he was like, make sure that you have a day off. He's like, you got to have time to do this. Now, I don't know how much, I don't think he microdosed. So I think he kind of went for the trip. So to speak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're going to trip.
So I'm like, I never got around to it. I'm interested, but because I want to like discover more purposey type stuff about myself, and I know that that's one of those things. It's like a natural plant healing situation. I mean, you know,
for sure,
marijuana, you know, not the like the marijuana of today is like overly processed, and you know, sometimes it's not. The plant is rushed,
right?
It's not, you know, it's mass produced. I mean, it's a whole lot of other words I could use for it. Like with the more natural stuff, you take time with it. You know, you grow it yourself. You're talking to the plant every day. Like you have a relationship, and you build it up throughout its harvest and stuff like that. But on all fronts, like that's the goal,
Right?
Is to be as natural as possible, as pure as possible,
Absolutely.
and care what no man's thoughts are about your existence. Like you're
Which
living.
is,
What's that?
no, I mean, it's just so crazy. Have you seen a clip of Kyrie Irving's interview? Of him talking about perception and like why, like how ludicrous that is to worry about what somebody thinks about you.
This was a special that they had on him, or?
No, it's just a post-game interview. They're like asking. It's when he returns back to Brooklyn because he went ghost for a little while.
Yeah, I seen that.
And that came out so long ago, but everybody's going crazy about it now. I'm like, that's actually old, but it's so wild that it's so wild that we fall victim to that. Like we literally will worry about like what somebody thinks about us. That's why we spend money on clothes. It's like, what? That's so crazy to me. It's just the game is so wild nowadays. Like being a human isn't even like that's secondary now. My wife's a teacher, and like,
oh, wow, what grade?
Kindergarten.
That's
you know what?
Tough grade.
I really love though. She's all about cultivating like personalities and like
respect.
You know what I mean? Like giving kids like that real platform. Like you're not like just a child in her classroom. Like you're an actual fucking person. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I really love about her. B's really dope. But
we're coming on the show, man. It's the type of stuff that,
you know what
that
I
we
mean?
need to put out here in the world for people to see. Like the world needs to see a teacher that cares about their pupil, their kids, because they're like their kids. That's one of our sayings. It's like any age, any goal. You know what I'm saying? But you want to see people that care about you doing something with you. You know what I mean? You're doing it together. I care about you. You care about me. You care about yourself. But the greatest of these is that you care about yourself.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you don't, it's like we kind of just in here. And then that gas is gonna run out. It's gonna run out either way. But like it's sustained longer when you give a fuck about yourself.
Dude. Oh man, I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah. Amen. I don't even have a rebuttal.
And sometimes like when stuff is like weird now, even I have to tell myself that like in my head or whatever. Like I have to just kind of keep that playing because it's always gonna be something weird that comes up, get in your way, you know, coronavirus, boom, all your money sucked up and stuff like that. It's not like you like super duper balling, but you definitely was already kind of like moving in a certain direction. And then now it's just like, now you're going this way, pulling stuff that you wouldn't normally pull just to kind of make ends meet. And you meet kind of. I mean, I think it was good for us though. Like how the same thing with the whole Donald Trump thing. Like they talk about, this is horrible, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, he definitely worked the system. You know, he definitely played it to make it work for him. He just used psychology to beat everybody out of stuff. But I was like, the one thing I would say that he did do for like Black folks was pull them together, because now we're looking for each other more. And we're looking for not just Black people, but just like conscious folks.
Absolutely.
You know, and
absolutely,
there's white conscious people. Like there are some. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they don't exist. They definitely exist. But you know, when you find somebody that you know that looks like you and they care about like sun gazing, or they have an idea about alkaline based living or
Right. Dude.
What else I got? You know what I'm saying? Just like kinetic energy, like, just different things. And these things were taught to us like long ago.
Right.
It was like written on walls, like hieroglyphics. Everybody remembers that in second grade when you learned what that word meant. And they've been destroying this stuff. And it's like, well, why would you just destroy all this history? Because there's so much power in the history. There's power when you write shit down. It takes life once you write it down. So and then like your thoughts become action. So it's like if you're thinking like negative all the time, that's dangerous.
Bruh. Oh man, there's a book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. I haven't read it yet. I got it somewhere laying around. I got tons of books laying around here.
And I mean, it's not even a book like that. After a while, I feel like you read a book, or you've read so many books, that like they're all saying the same thing. Like to me, if you read the Bible, and this is no bias, if you read the Bible, you really don't need to read any self-help book. Like you don't. I feel like they've all like, maybe you can read a New Day Christian, so like the way it's articulated is different, but for the most part, I feel like the Bible's kind of giving you the most gangster information. Like, believe in yourself, have positive thoughts. Don't worry about this hoe over here. Don't worry about that nigga over there. You know what I mean? Like, just like shit like that. Like, it's just on it.
Testament, bro. They put it to you straight.
You know what I mean?
Have you read it cover to cover, or you read just most of it?
But the Bible?
Yeah.
I've read bits and pieces. There was a while, like a couple years ago, some of my friends are Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, that's intense. I love it.
You know what I mean? So like we would literally get up every morning for maybe like 2 months, and we were smoking them blunts after blunts, just reading the Bible. I learned a lot.
I love it.
But you know what I mean? I have some disagreements with, their beliefs, but it's all love, at the end of the day.
I mean, that's life. I mean, you don't have disagreements with anybody about anything. Like I'm pretty sure that as much knowledge that we pass back and forth on this episode tonight, I'm pretty sure we'll find something to disagree on.
Absolutely.
But like the blessing in that,
it's conversation to me.
Yes. Because we don't have that with each other anymore. Like we're all texting now, we're all DMing, we don't even get phone calls anymore, And so it's like when you read something, you interpret how it comes across, especially like, and it's like with a text message, like I tell people like how we're, I don't know, like somebody said they wanted to break up with their girl or whatever. And he was like, how this sound? And he reading it to me. And I was like, so when are you going to say this? And he was like, oh, no, I'm just about to send it. And I was just like, nah. I was like, because the level, I was like, if you send that, it's showing her or him or whatever your choice, how much you respect them. I was like, because if they read it, they're going to read it, they're going to call you, and then you're going to have to talk about it.
Right.
So you might as well just, this generation, we're still a part of it, but you know what I'm saying? These younger cats, they're part of a weird spot, but a lot of them really didn't have fathers and really didn't have mothers. And a lot of their mothers were like, they grew up together. Like I grew up with my mom for the most part. She was 22, she had me. And so now she's 54. I'm about to be 32 in May. But, that was different because, her mom was similar to her. And she was kind of like an older 22-year-old. Same here. Like, I grew up an old soul, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, I'm listening to Confunction. I'm listening to fucking Steely Dan, the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah,
Mamas and
dude.
the Papas. The Red Telephone, like, I'm in the 60s. Like
I got you. And
I'm like stuck in the 70s, like on Curtis Mayfield head.
Oh man, that's where it's at. He's the GOAT.
I'm a drummer. And so like you think about that time, you had to be on point.
And we might write this song for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. But if you love what you do, you straight. You know what I'm saying? People just forget about that part. Like people took the love out of it And I think like where the record companies, in my opinion, come, I've never been signed to one. I mean, I'm part owner of one. Like I'm on a venture. I have a business partner. He owns it, and I do like the video for the company. But
Word.
with ours, it's kind of like we still sit down and have meetings together. Or if we're on Zoom, we get on Zoom. But most of the time, we link up, go to lunch, and talk about what we plan on doing. If we want to shoot something in a couple of spots, we'll drive to them and look at it and like actually scout, you know, how they used to do it back in the day. And you know, we keep it real, you know what I'm saying, with ourselves and stuff like that. And so anytime we got project ideas, it's dope. You know what I mean? Just coming together, and we try to find more ways to come together. Like we, like Jay on the show, Jay, he was saying to me today, I told him he needed to say it tonight, but he said something to the effect of, pandemic or no pandemic, you have to enjoy the little things, because that's all we have most days. Regardless of what they say, life as we knew it, I mean, like if life as we knew it was over, it doesn't mean that we have to stop living. I think that's where people are getting it confused. And I was like, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, right?
I mean,
it's first world problems.
Facts.
It's technology. Like, I literally, me and my wife had so many conversations, so many heady conversations. And I was saying, like, I'm curious to see where people would get, like how we would do if technology just left us right now.
Oh, people would be sick.
It would be sick. You would think that the economy crashed.
It already has, like a million different times, but people keep saving it because of capitalism and consumerism. I think that's a word. And
what's the word? Pragmatism.
I'm trusting you on that one, because I was about to you know that shit.
Hey, we're just programmed, you know, go buy this, buy that, you need this.
So I was yesterday years old when I truly experienced what sun gazing was. And it was that moment that I realized what it was like to be a child again. Like it all came full circle, because I saw the sun as a ball.
Right.
Ball of fire. And it kept flickering because it was, you know, it's moving, like it's flares and stuff. But it's so much energy that comes from it, and it makes everything grow. It easily destroys everything.
Ooh.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with how you look at it. The best times to look at it are, you know, sunrise and sunset or dusk. And so like those are the best times for you to sun gaze, and then you can actually heal. You can actually heal your eyesight as well. And there was a guy that did a study on it, and he was teaching people how to heal their eyesight. And they ran him out of the country for that, of course, because optometrists will be out of a job. So it's like anything that you can heal yourself with naturally, of course they're gonna get rid of it, because they want
my goodness.
They want you to buy something else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, okay, I have this saying that I think, entertain me. What if long time ago we knew how to fly? Humans knew how to fly, but because maybe somebody stopped believing or somebody became a hater, and then that hating virus became infectious and started, you know, infecting all these other people's minds that they couldn't fly or other generation. And then all of our subconscious or whatever, all of our beliefs all fell to a very low level. And now we can't fly anymore. But what if we all 7 billion, 8 billion, whatever people started thinking like we could fly? Could humans fly again? And I said again, like we have, but I'm just saying, like, I think back in the day we were capable of some really crazy shit.
Nah, I think you're right. I mean, that's how you get people like the monks in the monastery and folks that find ways to not be consumed by the, I'll say Americanistic, it's not a word, but we're going to say it anyway. Americanistic lifestyle of going and only living for 2 days out of a week. So it's like you go Monday through Friday, balls to the wall. You thanking God for Friday night because that's your time finally. The time that you get at night is literally enough time to lay down and pass out for 6 to 8 hours. You don't sleep, you don't rest, because most of the time people are going to sleep with phones, all those LEDs. When you close your eyes, you can still see them. TV still on. Programming is playing constantly. So if the TV is constantly going, even if it's fucking Sports Center, it doesn't matter. If it's not jazz, a meditational something, or silence, you're probably tiring yourself out more because you're constantly downloading information, hearing it, seeing it, touching it. Like, we're not even solid, bro. This is cells. This is like millions and millions and millions of cells. So like when you cut yourself, what starts to happen? It starts to heal. It's all like, if you've seen Lucy, you need to watch Lucy, bro. You need to watch.
Yeah, that movie was crazy. Morgan Freeman.
I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it. I'm tripping. So yeah, and so like you look at that. But answering your question about like, could humans if 8 billion people started to think we should fly again, or I think, yeah, when you put enough people in a room or close together and like the level of consciousness, it ascends, like you will start to ascend in a way. I'll say with fasting, that's something I really learned a lot about. It's like, you know, you think you get high off smoking a blunt, boy, don't eat. Don't eat for like 4 or 5 days and watch how amazing you feel at the end of that. Now, it gets a couple of rough points. Like I've done, the most I fasted without food has been 6 days. So I went 6 days. All I had was herbal. All I had was herbal tea and water. 6 days. And exercised all 6 of the days too, like worked out twice a day. Because working out is good for you to keep your mind off of thinking that you want something to eat. And then you learn what true hunger is. Because true hunger is like you about sleep. Like your body is shutting down on you and you need nourishment. It's very vital. It's very important at that time of the fast that you implement something that is natural or that you've never had before that's natural. Like, let's just say you never in a million times, like you never liked avocados. That will be a time to consume an avocado because it's a natural source. It's a plant that comes from the ground, and you're resetting your taste buds. And you know your cells regenerate every 7 years, so you get a new body every 7 years. But if you've been eating like McDonald's and Burger King and all this other bullshit, it's clogging you up. It's clogging up your cells. It's clogging up your arteries. You know, your stomach is gonna be shit. You know guess how long it takes to digest beef for me?
A week.
Pretty very good. So you know some shit.
Word, I didn't know that.
It takes about 7 to 8 days fully for a man to digest beef. And then with women, it's like a day after that, like 9, almost 10 days. So, and I'm roughly guessing that, like, you check the Mayo Clinic's website, it'll give you more information, but don't just go off of them, you know, like research stuff that's indigenous to who you are and where you come from, because most of us, you know, we eat chicken and stuff like that.
Oh, dude.
Out of the country though, like if you go out of the country, it's just chicken. It's not infused with all the stuff that's here. Chickens grow faster. They grow in a week instead of them growing in like the 6 weeks that they're supposed to grow in type shit. So, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, but yeah, that's a hell of a way to answer that question. I do feel like humans could fly again. I feel like,
man, I really do. I think we're capable of so much crazy shit.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like it's possible. And so the stuff that you read in the Bible, you think, okay, yeah, that shit was true, because those folks back then was living righteous. Most of them were like eating from the ground. They weren't
living
like,
to be old,
like 900. Like bruh, Abraham
easy.
And all them niggas was like 975. Like just living. And God was like, he still
pulling up on niggas and whooping ass though. At 900, I'll show up and beat your ass. Don't play with me.
On site.
Don't play with me, bro.
It's like
we outside these walls. What's up?
You think about that, and it's like, okay. And then he cut everybody's life short because basically they didn't appreciate it or some shit like that. But it's just like you can still live to be a centurion. You know what I'm saying? You can live to be 115, 120.
Right.
You can do that now, but you got to be like accurate in your ways, like accurate in your movements, accurate in your thoughts, accurate in the thoughts of your thoughts, accurate in the food that you eat. And then with the level of influence that's constantly being like pounded into our brains with like ESPN and BT and the music, it's like if the stuff is not like growing you or positive, is what do you think is doing? You know what I'm saying?
That's why the news, I can't stand the news.
Yeah, I got my points, but I don't really fool with it. I like the weather, but other than that,
it's just negative. Fear mongering.
Yep. On it.
What happened to Jay?
The weather got bad on his side, and it knocked out his. I think their power got knocked out, and his Wi-Fi got killed. But yeah, man. I want to cut to the chase and thank you for coming on the Living Water.
Oh man, thanks for having me. This was amazing. Bro.
And then we definitely gonna have you back.
I look forward to it.
When like me and Jay can reassemble our powers and get our friendship rings to work and shit.
For sure, with no tornadoes.
Captain Planet. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna bring this shit together, man. So, where can people find you, man? Like shout out, you got website, IG, what you got?
So I have no website, but I need to. My PR person gets on my ass about that. But you can find me on Instagram, Drum2Loud. You can find me on Twitter, Vincent Williams, or at Benny Beachy. Oh. I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really on Facebook. But you can find me there, just Vincent Williams. But Instagram is the main.
IG. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That'll be the one that should be there on the screen for y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? Follow my man, subscribe to my man. You got a YouTube page and all that too, or?
Yes, Vincent Williams. Couple videos up there, me playing drum.
All right, bet.
Go to Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you stream music on. Check out my latest single, Party, featuring Mr. Talkbox, who was a part of the smash hit 24 Karat Magic. Go check out that. Yeah, it's just a dance song to make you feel good.
Gotta have a feel good vibes, bro.
Yeah.
In a time like now, for sure, we want that. We need it.
Right, yeah. For sure.
Well, yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on the show again. I'm glad
Dude, thanks for having me.
Follow Dude. Subscribe to Dude.
Please. Team follow back.
Subscribe to us.
I got you.
And we're going to have you back again. I gotta say that like one more time. We're gonna have you back.
Looking forward to it. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna hit you up, bro. It's a wrap now. So yeah, man. We appreciate y'all coming to check out the show, man. And don't forget, man, when life gives you lemons, make lemon water.
Hey, peace.